Hey everybody, how we doing tonight? I'm still getting the timing down on my little intro, so sorry about that. How we doing? It's Friday, everybody. We made it. Yay! So, what do we want to talk about tonight? Oh, had a hell of a week. Hanging in there. Uh, Trying to get everything all settled in. See what's going on here. Check all my good stuff. All right. Doing good there. I think we're... Oh, great. All right. Already starting out with technical difficulties. Love it. Okay. Let's see. Well, there we go. Hello, Pepper. Very good. All right. Oh, so how was everybody's week? I did the normal work stuff, and now I just got done hanging out on Zia Land's stream and seeing how she's doing. Shout out to Zia and all the heathens over there. She's still needing some subs, so if anybody's joining in here would like to help a friend out, then that would be awesome if you could go over and get her some subs over on YouTube. All right. So I got 2 hours to kill. And I've got this quality content for you. Hang out and watch me smoke and talk about all sorts of crazy fun stuff. Yep, all right, we are live on YouTube and X and Rumble tonight, so that's what is going on. Hitting all the platforms. And you never know. Somebody pops up in chat, might be able to get you on. I could use a guest. Help liven things up around here. Oh. So, you're streaming and you're streaming to yourself. So what do you talk about for 2 hours to entertain yourself? Well, let's see. We could always talk about things going on in the music world. I mean, I know one of the things I did today was I actually got and started surfing around, and sure enough, I see a new single from Anthrax came out today. Caught the video on YouTube, so that was kind of interesting. And I don't know what to exactly think about it. I mean, you always got your hopes up high for new music. So you're clicking on stuff and you're checking out, well, okay, what's this new tune? And you get in your head, oh, this particular band, in this case, Anthrax. So is it going to be old Anthrax? Is it going to be better Anthrax? What's it going to be? And so usually the first thing I do is I'll listen to it once through and get like a first impression, and it's okay. So it's chunky. What's the lyrics like? How's it sound? What's the production on it? And you usually just get that first listen in. So first listen through, it was interesting to say the least. So, I'm listening to it, and you're checking it out, and it's just wild. It gets to the middle section for like a breakdown, maybe. I guess it's a breakdown section, and it was just kind of strange because it was like a different song. So I don't know if the trend is to completely, because a normal breakdown, it's either a tempo change or something like that. And so you kind of expect it to go a certain way. So I don't know if they're just, we're experimenting, or that's the way the song goes, but you'll hit the middle of this song and you'll go, and it'll kind of throw off your rhythm. And then it'll get back out and go back into the song, and then boom. So I heard a lot of good things on a first listen through. So I'll have to go back, re-listen to this track, and actually make a final determination. And that we could be doing that on a future episode of the show. So, you know what I'm saying? That'll be something I'll bring up with my co-host, and we'll just have to see how that flies. But they've got a new album coming out, so hopefully we will be checking that out a little bit more in depth. And otherwise, you're surfing around for something new to listen to. And luckily on X, we've got a really good music community, which I've shouted out before. And so there's always new music out there. There's a lot of the heavier stuff that's floating around out there. And some of the people I follow on X will point you in the right direction as well. Or you could always tune into our weekly show, and sometimes we talk about old music and sometimes we talk about new music, but we try to cover what we can. So, anybody out there feel like chatting about anything? What's the movie situation going on? Is there any new movies out there that I should be checking out? I mean, I'm seeing a lot of blowback about the Odyssey, and me, I preferred the one a few years back, and I'm just hearing too much stuff about it trying to be certain things, and I don't care about a message. I would rather be entertained and not let the real world seep in too much. So that's how that goes. Don't really enjoy a bunch of drama. Okay. Sorry, I'm checking a few things here. Make sure everything's going good. All right. And once again, when you're having to do all the technical stuff by yourself, it's kind of hard to do. But hey, I'll do the best I can and try to entertain y'all. Here we go. Okay. I'll try not to pick my phone up and search through my phone. Because everybody loves that. Oh. Friday nights. Do you all remember what it was like when you were in your teens and 20s and trying to find stuff to do on a Friday night? Because, I mean, for me, it was always trying to find somebody to hang out with and find something to do and all that fun stuff. And it's, I think getting older, you, when you get older, life gets in the way, and you just end up uh, domesticated, I guess, is a way to put it. You know, a lot of people, you get married and you have other things going on. So it's hard to find something to do. And in this case, you know, it's easy to hang out on the internet and find some sort of something to do. Whether you find one of your favorite streamers and you pop in their chat and you hang out and interact with them. And we didn't have that back in the day. I mean, it was, you know, you were lucky that somebody had cable TV that you could go over to their house and maybe catch a Headbangers Ball on MTV, or somebody had cable, or you know what I mean. It was just, you never knew what you were going to get yourself into. And a lot of times it was who's having a party or who's hanging out somewhere where you could go hang out. So, flash forward to the internet and all that fun stuff, and you get the YouTubes or the Rumbles or the X. And to me, it's like it was an opportunity to bring people together that you would not get to meet just hanging out in your hometown. So for me, this was great because back in the early days of internet, there was something called chat rooms, and that's all you did was get on a keyboard and chat and talk to people from around the world. And you know, you never know what kind of fun conversations you'll get into. So you get here, and sure enough, it's you get to actually interact with people in a chat and see them on a screen. So for me, it was like, oh, this is awesome. Why doesn't everybody do this? Well, because some people are too shy to pop on a camera on their computer and want to hang out and talk about stuff. So for me, starting to do this on my channel, it gives me something to do when I am bored out of my mind and hanging out with the dog all night. So if anybody is feeling the same way and wants to hang out and talk about stuff, hop on in the chat, pester me, and I'll pop your chat up and let's see what kind of conversations we can get. And maybe I'll tap my mic and say, hey, is this thing on? Is this thing on? Oh. Now, where was I earlier? Oh, yeah, I was talking about this this Odyssey thing. So it's got an all-star cast, so I'm sure it will do pretty well in the theaters. Or it might not. I mean, I think so many people get comfortable not going to movies now and wait to see it on streaming. I mean, it's kind of a lazy thing. I'm guilty of it myself. Well, I don't feel like going to a theater. But occasionally something will pop up that'll actually strike my interest. And I just don't know if this is going to be it, folks. I really don't. I mean, I got kind of spoiled with seeing The Lord of the Rings many years ago, and or even some of the Star Wars movies before they started to go downhill. And a lot of that, I think, was just story. As far as visually, it's all pretty good. Oh, there we go. Boredom is a hell of a thing. Worse when older. Thank you very much, 0 hours. Glad you could pop on. I think you probably saw me sinking, didn't you? So what do you do when you're bored in the middle of the night, 0 hours? I mean, you've got to know what it's like from back in the day. Tell, oh, there's this going on or that going on, or such and such is having a party. Let's go over there and let's go tap a keg, or have some fun with chemicals. And it's worse when you get older, because either you're tired from work or you're just, all your friends are married and hanging out and all that other stuff. So I mean, of course, I guess you could always hang out with the dogs all night, right? Or the cat. I mean, some of the stuff I do, 0 hours, I overthink everything in life. Ah, so you overprocess things. Maybe a little OCD in there for you. It must drive everything. I mean, I guess I could sit up all night and play guitar and get really good instead of mediocre. That might be something to do in the middle of the night. I mean, you find yourself, if you have nothing to do, you turn on the dreaded television and sift through God knows what you could find on streaming services, or again, you're scrolling through YouTube videos all night, or Rumble videos, or spending all your time swiping through shit on X. But, what do you do? And you 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 just sometimes it just boggles my mind. OCD, ADHD, you name it, I have it. I God, that sucks. I mean, it almost seems like you should have like a hobby or something. Maybe you should stay up late at night and rage on YouTube or something, or on Rumble, and you know maybe get all your frustrations out that way. I mean, I'd hate to out people's OCD or their ADHD, and especially if they were a friend, I would hate to. I'd be more engaging here, but comments like, yes, that is one of the bad parts about uh, streaming sometimes, and I don't know exactly where my comments are popping up at. So, where are you watching? Oh, okay, I see. All right, you're on X. Welcome, X viewer. How's that platform treating you? Are you enjoying it? Is it worth all the money that you spend on it? So basically, when I'm broadcasting here, I try to pop up every one of the platforms to make sure the stream's going good. So I'm kind of doing the technical stuff off to the side. And if I'm pausing and not saying anything, that's usually what's going on. Is I'm checking things out, make sure everything is doing well. And there we go. That's kind of aggravating, though, if you think about it, because, yeah. Never advisable to rant when tired, so you wait. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. I mean, especially if you're used to being on a different time schedule than everybody else, you save it up for the next day. Yeah, but what happens when you forget something that that hits you, and you're wanting to rant about it, and you're not live, or you're not doing a show? Because that can happen too. That can happen too. Especially when you're trying to come up with quality content. That's what this is all about. Quality content. I'm here to give you the best that I have. Oh. So, actually, how do you come up with your content 0 hours? Ends up a train wreck. So you need that little bit of prep time, I take it. I mean, so I'll just ask, and I'm gonna out you a little bit. Uh, you do have your own show on several platforms, and a little bit more on the a little bit more on the been there and done it numerous times. Yeah, well, you do a lot more. Here we go. Kyle, there you are, buddy. Welcome. Yeah, I'm trying to go back and forth, and you set up a stream that started a different one. Uh it just popped up, man. I was looking to set everything up and make sure I had all my keys and everything all set up, and then it went. So I'm not sure. I seem to be on YouTube and Rumble, and right now I've got 0 hours on, and he's a buddy of mine, and my content is rabbit holes, so he goes down a lot of the political route rabbit holes. So and where are you usually found outside of? Because you do YouTube still 0 hours, or you just mainly do all the podcast stuff? Okay, the one you pre-schedule still shows as waiting. Okay. Uh, hmm. I don't know. Well, it's. Oh, there we go. Okay. I see it now. I'm not sure, Kyle. I really not. I mean, I've got the page up, and I'm checking the page to make sure it's going on YouTube. Yeah, that's weird. A glitch, maybe. Oh, that's all right, man. That's cool. That's cool. That's why I wasn't here right away. I was it and wait. Yeah, yeah. Again, we we're used to doing shows. We're used to doing shows, and we pre-record them and set them up. So the live streaming, I am still learning on, buddy. So I need a little grace period to get everything figured out. Oh, zero. No, got banned on YouTube. Oh, I wonder why. Uh-oh. Maybe, or Remy's a boomer. Billy, thank you for joining, buddy. How's it going, man? How is it going? 0 hours, just doing audio podcasts right now. Okay. Okay, I didn't know if you were still doing videos or not. 0 hours. This is Kyle. This is Billy from over on Zia's stream. They're heathens. And they've come in. They came in on the last stream and they made it for this one. What's up, brother? Not a whole lot, man. I was struggling for that first half an hour. Kyle, YouTube is like that especially now. AI is super stupid and aggressive. Yes. And I know there's issues because I've seen other streamers that especially the ones that are monetized, that they've got an X amount of time that when they're streaming, that they have to wait before they can say any naughty words. And I think it's like a 7-minute window that they go through, that if they say a naughty word or swear, that they have a chance to be demonetized for their stream. So I'm not getting paid, so I don't give a fuck. There you go. I don't care. But I do like to be able to stream on all the platforms to try to reach out and do little shout outs and stuff. And thank you guys for coming in tonight. And thank you 0 hours for popping in as well. I know it's getting late for you, and I think Billy's up past his bedtime, because normally he's usually out of here by around 12 or 1. Kyle, yeah, it's been like that for a while. Amount of time they have to wait keeps changing. Yeah, well, I'm a half hour in, so like I said, if I was actually worried about making any money, I would make sure I don't say damn or fuck too often. I try to keep it clean for everybody. You know what I'm saying? I try, but I will smoke on stream. That's for damn sure. Billy, usually generalizing from a sample set of 1 is bad. Yes, forgive me. Forgive me. I try to get everybody's schedule down mentally so I know how late everybody wants to hang out. And I can count on somebody to troll me a little bit every once in a while. So how was your week, gentlemen? Zero hours. Is everyone East Coast time or no? Well, you know I'm on East Coast time. For some odd reason, you would know that. Billy, well, if you weren't working your butt off over the printing presses, you know that my schedule is fart because, yeah, that's, I'm sorry about that, brother. The printing presses call me and I must answer the call. It's almost like a bat signal of sorts. You know what I mean? Not bad. Work start Wednesday due to weather. We'll probably making very few streams once that happens. Friday night and Saturday night is all. Yeah, yeah. You've got long days away. You have some long days coming up, Kyle. I feel for you, man. That's gonna be rough. Billy. Oh, right. Printing press. Fake news. Actually, it's a lot of school books that get printed, and several other things of the sorts, and some manuals that are printed. So I don't actually have a lot of news, but I am printing things for third, fourth, fifth graders, and you should see some of the stuff that's printed as far as trying to educate the children. It's very interesting, and it's a lot of books that a teacher will bring in, and they have them tear the pages out to turn in for homework. So, you know, there might be a little laziness going on with that. Oh, just tear out page 25 and fill it out and turn it in, and then I'll mark it. So, you know, got a little bit of that going on. So 0 hours. You got any not super political stuff that you've gone down the rabbit hole with? Or Billy, yeah, the sex ed curriculum for third grade. No, thank God we do not have to. It's a lot of math and a lot of actually cursive books that we've been printing to teach the young ones how to write cursive. Kyle, I'm waiting for some indie comics to get shipped. The global instability has slowed a lot of stuff down. Is it really having an effect on the shipping? Is that what's going on? Or what exactly do you think is causing your slowdown on your shipping? 0 hours. They still use school books, not laptops. I think we did workbooks for Indonesia a while back, so that was kind of interesting. Kyle, it has had some, yes. Plus costs are way higher because fuel prices have spiked so high. Yeah, that would suck. So I mean, are you getting like manga from Japan? Is that what you're waiting on, or just stateside indie books are coming out that you're waiting on? Because I mean, I've got a couple stuff that shipped stateside that about a week. So that kind of. Lots of the printers are in China. Okay, I got you. Well, yeah, we print in America too. Actually, I think it would be cool if we could start printing comic books. So it's taken longer to get work done. The crazy thing though is we live in an age where you can ship proofs electronically. You know what I'm saying? So as far as getting the work to whoever's printing it, it shouldn't be that hard. So I mean, unless they're killing us on the printing to where their price is so cheap that it's you know, it's making it harder for indies to. You have the right type of printers. Usually they use multicolor offsets. Yes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We have large format sheet fed presses. We have uh, heat set presses. Also, there was tariff issues for a while, which made shipping. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Well, again, it kind of pushes people to try to do stuff here in the States. And the unfortunate thing is, uh, the unfortunate thing is, there's a declining number of press rooms or print shops, and some of them have gone to other things to print on, uh, like cartons for, say, like a Bud Light carton or something that, and they do the printing on that. Most of it, thankfully, is cleared up, so things are moving pretty well again. Just made some stuff later than it otherwise would have been. Okay, well, that's good. That's real good to hear, actually. Billy, I used to work for a company that did dye sub on rolls of vinyl, window banners, and car wraps type of stuff. Okay, so we do a little bit more of the commercial printing where I'm at. So again, they could do like the large format 4-color work, and basically that's a lot of your comic books are on, well, unless you've got your higher grade paper quality, then they use the cheaper stock. Like the old school comic books was on like a newsprint, which is actually a cheaper paper. So that's why it was so cost effective for them to do all those comic books back in the day. And then, yes, either pulp or gloss. And so I know I'm talking shop here. Uh, a lot of your offset or pulp paper you can print on an offset press because the ink dries naturally. So it takes time for the ink to actually dry. So you get a heat set press, and that is where you can run your gloss because it runs through an oven to dry the ink and all that stuff. So that's where you get your higher quality comic book paper that they print on, and that's what they do is that they'll print on that. Or actually, a lot of the newer companies use like the ultraviolet dryers to dry the ink, and that's a lot of the newer technology. Billy, yeah, but giant wiper stickers are cooler. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. And they are great for band stickers and stuff like that. So that's too bad you still don't have those connections. Kyle, there's a company that makes waifu graphic cards for computers. And that's all the digital stuff, correct? because that is all. As soon as it gets off a printed page, that's where I'm out. I mean, the graphic stuff, you know, that's all on computers, and people on Macs do the designing and stuff. They print a waifus on the back plate. Oh, okay. Nice. So yeah, it's probably silk screen. Uh, and unfortunately, it's again, a lot of the vocational schools still teach some of that stuff, and I never went to a vocational school, so I just went in, got a job, and started working and worked my way up and learned all that stuff on the job. But it would have been cool to learn how to do the silk screening or to actually make the t-shirts and stuff like that. They did a lot of that at the vocational school that we had around here. So they actually had a pretty good printing program and graphic arts program. So Billy, what's going on? What are you dealing with that you're still sick, man? Are we getting something chronic? Is it boomer flu? What do we got? What do we got going on over there? Because I thought you were getting better, and then I only get updated on the weekends on streams. So how are we doing actually? Oh, sorry about that. Checking some things. So, there we go. Man, I've had migraines my whole life. After the fall a year and a half ago, my head's still heart's getting better. Good. Very good. I mean, has it been hospital trips again? Because I know there for a while you were hanging out in the hospitals quite a bit. Oh, and Kyle, I was talking earlier. What do you think about Odyssey? Are you any interest in catching that, or or not? Is that not your movie style? Billy, now this week he's been puking in dark rooms and seizures. Oh, that sounds like a lot of fun. Good Lord, man. Start cardiac rehab on the 29th. Well, I'm hoping that goes well. I mean, they're gonna have to do stress tests and all that stuff, or what are we talking? Try to get you on some better meds? The movie, not the slightest casting choices. Dog dirt. Yeah, I was trying not to be too negative about it. So, I guess if somebody wants to watch that, they can. I just I think I like the older one. You know what I mean? That older one, what, maybe in the 90s that had come out was a hell of a lot better. But yeah, all the buzz from this, I don't even know if I would watch it even if it was on streaming for free. It just does not, even though they're trying with the stacked cast of people. Helen of Troy is supposed to be one of the most beautiful women in the world, and they chose someone who is average on their best day. Well, from what I heard, uh, for them to even consider it for an Academy Award, a lot of it was the diversity stuff. So I think that was just so he could try to get this film for the Academy to notice it. And I saw people were pointing out a lot of the rules that had changed. So now it's making people do that. Billy, I passed the stress test to be cleared for rehab. This is physical therapy workouts while attached to an AKG and respirator. Oh, there you go. A Rocky movie with moobs. Yeah, yeah. Well, you got to go through it, man. If you want to get better, I mean, they've got to get this figured out so you can get healthy again, man. And I'm hoping for the best for that. So even if you could argue that Helen could have been black, she needs to be beautiful. They did the same thing with Romeo and Juliet. Yeah, it's the swapping is it's kind of silly at this point. It really is. I don't. They do it for their reasons, and we have to suffer through it, or you just don't watch it. You know what I mean? If it's a good story, it doesn't matter what cast they have, honestly. But when you start doing remakes and reboots and all that stuff, how can you not have swap outs? You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make it right because they should come up with new stories and stuff. I mean, honest to God. Yeah, the Academy is circle jerk for Hollywood. No one else cared. No, not really. Not really. It's a shame. It's a shame that we've gotten here through all the years, and it kind of goes the same with music, man. It's, you know, they want to do the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It's a popularity contest to get people in it, and it's the same thing with Hollywood and the Academy Awards and all that bullshit. So, you know, they got to dance to the music to make their art, I guess. Billy, the hospital is a half mile down from my sister's house. After finish this theory, I'm gonna go veg under the pool if the docs say I'm not gonna drown. Nice. Well, that's good, man. That'll be good to relax in the pool. You may not want to do hot tubbing for a while. You might want to watch that. Get that blood pressure going too much. You could argue Juliet could be of any race if you go by her being the ideal representation of the feminine, but the black woman they chose is the opposite ideal. Very true. Very true. It's got nothing to do with the actress and her skills. It doesn't. 0 hours. These remake movies blow. No originality whatsoever anymore, it seems. Yes. That is also a good point. It's why in the world do you have to remake so much stuff? Because there's no originality left in a lot of these places. I mean, movies, music, you know, Kyle's into comics and collects comics. So I will say, do they do rebooting I mean, I know how many times Marvel and DC have rebooted their universes and started at 0 or 1 for how many comics through the years. I mean, is that still rampant? Because I really think with you doing a lot with the indie comics, it's probably a lot different. So I don't understand why they can't do that in Hollywood. Just too corrupt, I guess. I don't know. People just don't use their imaginations anymore. Diversity, culture appropriation. Hey, let's stick every demographic in the only culture we know. Well, movies and TV is easy accessible. So, when somebody's paying the bills and they tell them to go by rules, what choice do they have? I mean, that's what YouTube and Rumble and all these platforms are for, so you get alternate fucking media. I mean, that's why it's pushed so many people to do it here and do their own thing, because there's just nothing original out there. Yes, DC just did a complete reboot with the Absolute series. So what? Again, they rebooted it. Not many years ago, Marvel tried to make Wolverine and Cyclops bi and gay for each other. I'm sure there's an audience out there for that. It's kind of, fan fiction. That's where it needs to stay. Or an alternate universe. And how do you justify it if the sales are shit? Do you know what I'm saying? If the sales are there, if there are millions of copies of comic books going with that theme, then it could justify it because there's a fucking demand. It's the same way with movies. Where's the fucking demand for this media? Insert whatever you want to put in that media. If there's a fucking demand for it, then that's why they're doing it. But I don't understand if there's no demand for this niche stuff. You know what I'm saying? How does that make it justifiably financially? You know what I'm saying? DC also made one of the Robins gay at one point, even though up to that point he was shagging Spoiler, who is a woman. It's the people that's doing the stories. Okay? Maybe there's a quota at DC, Marvel, and some of the bigger comic companies that they have a quota of stuff that they're supposed to release. I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me, but you know what I'm saying? All those changes failed so bad they changed it back. Okay. It goes right back to the almighty dollar is pushing this stuff. Or at least backed way off. Yeah. So, if there's a demand for it, then fine, put it out. But to me, it's the wasted money that goes into some of the comics or the movies or the TV shows, and to push the stuff. It's like, whatever your orientation, that's your shit. Cool. But is it big enough for widespread? I mean, look how popular Will and Grace was. And I watched it because it was funny. But I didn't diminish anybody's whatever. It was the character. The writing was good. The jokes were funny. So, you know what I'm saying? It happened. It was good. So there are outliers to all this. Speaking of, Fink, the CEO of BlackRock, said the DEI was a mistake and they're not going to fund it anymore. Exactly. because in the long run, all this media is supposed to make people money. So, you know what I'm saying? So back in the day, that's how some of the subject matter in comics was on the indie level because it wasn't such a widespread demand for it. And I'm sure those comic books did well for the content they had for the audience that they were trying to appeal to. You know what I'm saying? It's unfortunate that that's the way of the world. It's, money talks. It sucks. And it comes out in all sorts of media. So, you get oversaturation of overproduced music as well, to where you listen to it and some of it starts to sound like a lot of the other music that's out there. So what is standing out, where is the Black Sabbaths or the Led Zeppelins or all these bands, the Van Halens, that stood out and was original? When you get oversaturation of the same type of music and you can't differentiate between the bands anymore. So, I mean, there's that problem in music as much as comics or movies or television. You get that same problem going on. And it's a shame because there might be bands out there that are up and coming that put out some good stuff, but if corporate is pushing this type of music or that type of music and it's got to sound like this and it's got to sound like that and we're putting our money into it, this is what you get. So, I mean, I love all the indie bands and the indie labels and because somebody is producing the stuff out there for you to consume as the consumer. Consume new product. I hate to coin a phrase that I've seen YouTubers use on their videos, but it's the facts of the world. It happens. And unfortunately, we are the ones that bear the brunt of it. I mean, tell me the last good movie that DC put out. Or Marvel. I mean, I think the last Deadpool movie did pretty damn good. But that's kind of an outlier because of what they demanded they were going to have with it, When you remove the gatekeeper, you automatically create the problem of market discovery. Yes. Yes. That is very true. And that goes with anything. I mean, the Dungeons and Dragons brand has suffered severely for quite a few years now because they want to stray from what made it popular. So, now financially it's just not working for them. So who knows what's going to happen with all that type of stuff. Make Catholic monks as scribes great again or something. Yeah. Down with X. Well, we're broadcasting there, so I won't say down with it too much, but yeah. Sometimes you just gotta, you know what I'm saying? You just gotta kind of. I'm a diehard TSR guy as far as I'm concerned. Nothing made by World Wizards of the Coast is a Dungeons and Dragons. Yes. Yes. I think it was them trying to reboot so many times. The last books I got was the 3.5 edition books, and basically barely cracked the cover on them. So they're back here on the shelf, and they're in great shape, and liked a lot of stuff about it. But I was a first edition guy, and that's probably all I ever do. So I'm kind of boomerish there. Billy, dear Grok, these are statistic tongue-in-cheek comments. I don't think you'll have to worry about Grok outing you, Billy. I hope he's not listening. 2.5, including skills and powers, the last two Dungeons and Dragons. The 2.5 or just second edition? Because I don't remember the 2.5. Was that after second? Oh, okay, yes, thank you. Sorry. Well, yeah, second edition advanced. Yeah, you're going to have to teach me Thaco, because I never got the hang of it, and everybody said, it's so easy, and I'm like, I learned on first edition, and you know what I'm saying? There's where you could say that Remy is definitely a boomer when it comes to his Dungeons and Dragons. For real. I still have some dice that somebody gave me from their box set from the original Dungeons and Dragons, so. And I still have a few people that still play, so. Billy, I played so much TDO that I forgot what's pure second edition, what's bastardized. Again, the leap, I did not make the leap to second edition, but I did invest in the 3.5 books, and basically that was third edition, and they had added stuff to the core books, which make it the 3.5. So I think that was the only difference between 3 and 3.5, was they had updated some of the information. So instead of just waiting for a finished product with the third edition, they released the 3.5, and that's all that was the difference with that. But I liked a lot of the stuff I was reading. Seemed like there was a lot more information in those books. Billy, Thaco is just blackjack counting cards for dwarves. Let's not step on any toes here. I think Kyle knows his Thaco. And unfortunately, I have not played in a while. I've got all these books sitting on a shelf to be able to play, and I just haven't had the time with doing shows and live streaming and all the other fun stuff that occupies my time on the weekends. Thaco to hit armor class 0 is simple. Lower armor class is better in second edition. You have to roll the difference. If you have a Thaco of 15, then you have to roll a 15 or higher. Okay. That makes sense. It's going to be a lot of, I'm going to have to apply that. I will have to apply that many times to get the hang of it. So I understand why it was easier. It's just getting into the habits of doing it that way. So, and I actually think everybody who's been in chat tonight has got some Dungeons and Dragons experience, even if it might be limited in spots. I'm talking about you, 0 hours. I know you played a couple times, though you probably won't admit it. So since we're talking D&D tonight, Billy, Kyle, what was your favorite character to play when you would play the devil's game of Dungeons and Dragons? What was your character of choice? Because I was always the type that would play the ranger because it had some more skill sets. Kyle, oh, that's easy. Bard. Now, are you talking the old school Bard, or what's the difference between the first edition Bard and the second edition Bard? Did they simplify things? Made it its own class? Did you have the big book of bards? Or whatever it was called? The Complete Bard might have been the book, if that's what it was, for second edition. Because I've seen some of the newer bards, and I don't know if it's the same deal, but like Critical Role or whatever, I've seen some of the videos on YouTube. Billy, I was a dual-wielding ranger until high school, and Driss made all the hipster Starbucks swillers, made the class insufferable. Okay. In DDO, I was a bard. So, you did the bard the old way, where you had to go up so many levels as a fighter and so many levels as a thief, and then actually get your bard. War Chanter Prestige. Okay. I am not familiar with what that is. Exactly. So, Kyle's here. So they're jack of all trade, master of none. They're basically half potency, fighter, thief, mage. More limited, but if you used all their skills in conjunction, they were just as strong. In second edition. Okay. Okay. So if you were demi-human, so your elves or your halflings or your dwarves or your gnomes that could multi-class all at once, then picking a bard was probably a lot easier, at least the old school first edition way, because then you could go up and multi-class, correct? Prestige class subtype taken third edition, put into DDO with second, okay. With prestiges and epic levels. The Complete Bard was a handbook that brought in types of bards called kits that were beyond true bard, which is what is the player said. Okay. So it was a little bit more specialized. And the prestige classes were like Acrobat Thief from first edition, from Unearthed Arcana. Where and kind of like they had Unearthed, had the Barbarian was a subclass of the fighter, and so is Cavalier. So it was that same type of idea then for those classes. Because the current Bard, it seems like it's kind of silly, at least with the powers. But then again, I've been playing old school for so long. It's all fucking new to me. So I appreciate you guys getting me up to speed on a lot of the D&D information. Kyle, Bards would level faster than a true multi-class, but more limited at the high end due to other limitations like maxing out at 5th level spells, no backstab, more armor and weapon limits than a fighter. Okay. Well, then that makes sense why it would appeal to people then. I'm learning something. I'm learning something. Kyle, I don't like the new bards. Too linear in their progression. Okay. I mean, are there spells? Can they do the magic user spells like old school? And go into those, or is it just a set spell list for bards? I guess is my question. So this is interesting. I'm actually learning something. So, we do have quality content on this stream. Check something here. Okay. So am I going out on a limb and saying did they get rid of the barbarian classes, or do they still have some of those old school classes in the newer D&D? Bards have a spell list that includes some mage and priest. Get them at certain levels. I believe they're also still charisma casters versus casting based on intelligence scores. Okay. In the newer editions. All right. So that makes sense. Billy, set spell list, buffs and charms mostly, no direct damage. Awesome, use magic device. So wands and staves. Okay. Well, that's cool. So, all right, then let's go down this route. I'll put it to you guys. If you've watched like the Critical Role and some of the other D&D based streamers, particularly on YouTube, how do you feel about their role playing for YouTube specifically? I mean, do you like the style where they go the over dramatic because they're actually streaming this, or do you think it's performative? Do you think it's just for the performance and that's why they go over the top of this stuff? Do you think it's cool, or do you think it's overkill? I mean, we never were real strict on sticking with the role play. It was more, what decisions are you making? I mean, I didn't do any silly voices and shit like that because I just thought it was kind of... The people I played with, they were more into wanting to get to the adventure and stuff like that. Use magic device was stolen from the Bard's Handbook in 2nd AD&D. It belonged originally to a Bard kit called the Lore Master. Lore Master's ability was a little better in some ways and worse in others. Not a huge fan of LARPing. Well, that's what I'm saying. So, I mean, is it offensive or is it just not your cup of tea? You're kind of like, it's a little too much for me, but. And I'm also under the assumption that you have probably done your own uh, time as dungeon master at some point. Am I correct, or were you mainly just the players when you got your gaming time in? Yes. Okay. So you know your way around the books. I've done both, but prefer playing. Well, that's also nice. That's nice to have that option. It's a stream. Sitting there watching someone sitting there pretending to not be themselves, kind of boring. If they're not mugging for the camera. Okay, so yeah, that's what I mean. It's kind of performative. It was kind of cool checking it out like the first time or two, but I wouldn't want to sit around and watch that, honestly. I mean, unless they're having, it's a really cool adventure that you're getting into the storytelling. Once again, we're back to storytelling. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, I follow some guys that actually will stream while they're playing. I think had a guy that was doing Keep on the Borderlands, one of the old mods, live on stream. Follow him on YouTube. So I mean, it's kind of cool to get a play, but for me, that overproduced stuff that they were doing it's just kind of it's overkill. I mean, you want people to get interested in the gaming or anything. So I understand why they do it to make it exciting. But, for me, it was always trying to come up with something that will capture the player's imagination. I mean, back in the day, I would sit at work if I had an easy job running where I could kind of sit around and make notes of what I wanted to do for the players that I had in the group. So it was always trying to think of new ideas. I also enjoyed second edition Council of Worms, which is quite a bit different than standard second edition since it brings PC dragons into the game. Well, that's interesting. So it was kind of melding the two. So I mean, was it set that it had the stats for the dragons since it was on PC? Because we had toyed with the idea about using computers to kind of streamline things in the stuff that we were doing at one point when it was, the late 90s, early O's. We kicked around that idea. Oh, okay. All right. Now I was thinking it was a PC game. Sorry. You played a dragon character. Okay, so it was a mod or was it an actual gaming system? Player character. Dragonborn is just disgusting. Overpowered. Okay. I got you. So you were actually able to play the dragons as player characters instead of monsters. So I mean, was it interesting? Council of Worms was a box set with a campaign based on being a dragon. So it already had your parameters all set up for it then. Did it have like the pre-rolled dragon characters then, or were you able to generate your own? How did that work? Was it basically like your PC classes that you got to play? But it was all like dragon based. I'm gonna have to ask my buddy about that to see if he ever messed with that. So you could choose to be chromatic, gem, metallic dragon. Okay. So it was going through the different types. So how was it, guys? Was it cool, or I mean, if it was a specific module, then it had a it had a set storyline, correct? Because I mean, it kind of piques my interest, but it would be more good for like a one-off or to go through the module. There was a template for standard dragons. Then some dragons could have either warrior or mage class, which had other skills and abilities than a standard dragon. Gem dragons could also be psionists. Okay. That was something I never really got into was the psionicists. We never really had a lot of people that was interested. I think like one guy I knew had one to use, and that was really enjoyed it. You could either follow the campaign in the box set or make your own campaign. That would be something I would be interested in checking out for sure, just because of how interesting it is. So I'll have to look that up then, because my only problem would be trying to integrate it into like first edition, where I usually hang out. But then the only problem with that is the hit dice in first edition on all the monsters are just so low that I've had to adjust and even try to like look into the third edition books to try to incorporate something with more hit points, especially if you start getting the higher level characters in there, because you just can't. First edition monster manual is just not set for real high level characters as far as hit dice, in my opinion. So I've always got to adjust some stuff, because I got a couple guys that want to run barbarians, and you're talking hit points out the wazoo to try to give them something that's a challenge. I mean, I can always get into the deities and demigods and pull stuff out of there, or go to the manual of the planes to try to find something, or Fiend Folio. I've played Psionicist a few times. They're a real strong early game and changed to being more versatile later game. Okay. Because it's basically the same thing as a spellcaster, right? You've got certain skills that your psionicist meets with the intelligence, correct? Because again, when you don't have anybody interested in playing some of these characters that are around there, you kind of got to go with what everybody wants to play and how many people you get. I mean, it's near impossible to find random people when you live in a rural area. I'm sure it's easier to get a party going. Excuse me. And of course, around here, some of the guys that I know that played D&D would, some of them might do Robotech or the vampire games or oh shit, what was that? Like the cyber stuff and some of the other game systems. Shadowrun, that was kind of had the tech and the magic and a little bit of all that stuff. ETM and Werewolf the Apocalypse. Yeah, games like that. Shadowrun. Yeah, I think I've got a Shadowrun book over here somewhere that I just never got into. They're very attribute dependent. Everything is based on attribute checks. Each psionic ability has different attribute recs. One maybe a strength check, another maybe okay, so it actually does go back to all your other stats then. GURPS, generic universal role-playing system. Okay. Nice. Ability difficulty will have a plus or minus, for example. Maybe a con roll, -6 for... Okay, that makes sense. So at least it's still using all your other attributes towards the psionicness. That's cool. Yeah, Billy, I think a buddy of mine actually played like the Marvel role-playing game where you could create your own Marvel character and do the role-playing for that. I think they did that for a little bit. But for the most part, they stick to the D&D. GURPS actually has a holding out skill. Prison Pocket, the only thing I remember about it. Okay, well, I mean, there were so many games, especially in the late 80s. I mean, I think they actually had like a Star Wars role-playing game. And God, I wish I could had gotten some of them books just for the keepsake of it. Because I think a lot of people like some of those systems. Kyle, I played GURPS 4.0 years ago. The actual base system, not a set like Shadowrun. It was alright. Palladium. I think I've heard of that. I do think I remember seeing that. But then, you know, when you're in the game sphere, the role-playing game sphere like that, there's a lot of systems that come out. And I think I was following somebody that was like promoting Laughing Moon as a game system, which was kind of D&D based but different. And 2 Star Wars games. One I think was a Die 10 system. New one is Die 20 Modern. Okay. Yeah, Star Wars. I have not checked into any of the new Star Wars. I mean, I know Pathfinder really took off. I mean, hell, I've got a couple of the games on PlayStation of the Pathfinder games, and goddamn, those were a bitch. Palladium is a huge system. Yeah, like I said, I think I've heard of that. Did either you two get to go to any of the Gen Cons? Because a few of my friends have gone and actually had a pretty good time going to Gen Con. And I think the last year when they went, they actually got to play the last time in some of the games, so they were pretty happy. Pathfinder was originally created using modified D&D 3.0. Okay. Yeah. I'm staying up. Yes, you have, sir. If you're tired, man, you can go. You can go. I don't want you getting even sicker because I made you stay up so late. It's the night shift, man. This is what the night shifters do. I've never gone to Gen Con, no. Never been really interested in it. Well, I will say that the first time my buddy went, he did a lot more purchasing of game items and dice and stuff like that. And kind of the first year, it was to check everything out to see how things worked. All right, I'm going then. Bedtime for Billy. Thank you so much, Billy, for coming and hanging out, man. I do appreciate it. You just do not know how much it helps the stream because when I'm here dying by myself and don't have anybody to interact with, it makes for a long night, brother. Thank you very much, man. Hope you can make it next time. Just get some rest, man, and get better soon. So, let's go back here to Kyle. And like I said, the second time around, he actually was signed up for games and stuff. I think I have 8+ dice sets. I don't any of my. Oh yeah, but when you get there, man, from what I understand, you'll see some. You'll just go, oh my god, that set is so cool. I gotta have it. And if you're a pack rat like me and you collect stuff, it's like, oh, that is so cool. I actually, when I was doing all my eBay stuff and was picking up some of the first edition books that I didn't have and actually picking up the third edition books, I got like a fucking a bag of dice or like a fucking pound of dice. They had offers going and I bought them. And I'm like, if you guys can't find dice in this big bag of dice, then you have issues. And we'd get them out and say, all right, here, let's pick through and get you a set if you need a set. And I actually miss that because, you know, if you can maintain a group for longer than 3 months and have the same people showing up, that's when it's fun because then I could do a campaign and actually see them going from the low levels to the higher levels, and I can develop how I'm gonna run the game for them. Don't really get to play anymore. All the boys are grown up, and many of us are in different states. Even yes, pound of dice. That was it. They took my money with no hesitation because I forked it out. I'm like, here you go. Here you go. I was in the same campaign for 10 years. Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying, man. You get lucky sometimes. And if you get a group that's interested and wants to play, it's so much better. I mean, and I had to, I got my kid interested in it early on. So, and then he would have his friends come over. So then I actually had like where we could have an actual party of like 5 or 6 of them. So I was like cheesing, man. I'm like going, all right, let's get something done. And I actually would dig out some of the old modules and get these guys to play. And then, come up with some of the ideas myself. And there for a while, I did I was holding tournaments for like my friends that all played. And so I was doing like yearly tournaments for like 3 or 4 years in a row. I got to do tournaments. And I would set it up. I would actually set it up as the first half of the night would be like brackets. You know how they set up the football brackets with the teams? So I would get everybody that was going to be playing in the tournament, and I would get them all together and put them in brackets with the NPCs and make them go through brackets until we had a winner. And I think we did fighters one year, and then we did a magic user tournament for anybody to dig out their magic users. And then we did like a free-for-all, like one of the last times. So it was any class. And then the second half of the night, I would do like a specific adventure and write up something for them to go through. So, I mean, I had a ball doing it. And if I'd have kept some of the, I remember some of the ideas. So if I ever wanted to do that, something like that again, I could dig that up pretty low maintenance. Get the chance to look at the Complete Bard's Handbook from 2nd edition. That book's probably one of the strongest classic kits ever made. I'll put in my top 5 strongest for sure. Nice. I will have to check that out because I still have a couple books from the 2nd edition that I got my hands on that I think came in with some of the lots of books that I purchased. And if some of those books are out there now, I'm sure they're wanting an arm and a leg for them. It's called a Gallant. They're super strong. Okay. Yeah, I'd like to read up on some of that stuff. For sure. Oh, wow. Oh. Well, I'm glad we got to talk about a little bit of D&D tonight. Something I'm completely interested in. People on the other platforms are going, what the hell are they talking about? So I guess we've gone through some interesting topics tonight. I'm actually kind of running out of gas a little bit. Might have to call her a little bit of an early night. But I appreciate you coming and hanging out, Kyle. And if 0 hours is still there, I think I might have lost him. As soon as we started talking about the D&D stuff, he's probably like, I'm out of here. I don't need to talk about this. I can send you the digital pages of the Gallant from the handbook if you want to see it. Do you mean easy? Okay, I can do that. Yeah, I'd like to get my hands on some of that, or find somewhere where I could get a hold of it. I mean, you'll have to message me in Discord, and then I'll be able to either research it or check out what you could send me. Because I think that would be cool. I also just have not had any time to do any gaming at all. I mean, I think I think I ran my son's Barbarian like last year or maybe the year before, just because we were bored and it was winter, so we had a little bit of time to do some gaming. And I think I ran his Barbarian for a couple months. Got him some levels and stuff like that. So it was kind of cool. But it's so hard to get the free time. I mean, and you know what I'm talking about. You're getting ready to be wrapped up with work real soon. And that seems to take real life takes up all your time. You can't do all the cool things you want to do anymore. Barbarian had its own. Yes, yeah. I saw somebody on X had shared like a stack of their books, and I think it had something for just about everybody. And it broke everything all down into the handbooks, those smaller handbooks. You know, that's the ones I'm talking about. The small handbooks. Those were actually really cool. And to me, it was like a natural progression to go in depth. The old hand, yes. I mean, that's the type of stuff I'd like to see them. If fucking D&D wasn't such a shit show now, that they should try to bring that back. I mean, even Pathfinder might be able to do it. Hate that everything is so expensive. Well, yeah, because it goes back to that dollar thing, man. It's all about the money. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but they were talking about trying to charge you and make everything transactional, like microtransactions, in order for you to play with their system now. That's what they're trying to do, to make it like the damn games on your phone. You got the microtransactions just to play fucking Dungeons and Dragons. I got a collection of books here, man. I'm not fucking doing that. It's ridiculous. I'll play the old stuff because I own it. Which goes back to the physical media thing. If you own it, you don't have to worry about anybody changing it or charging you for it. Now I'm going to rant a little bit. And I mean, there's some of the game systems. Like I said, my buddy went to Gen Con and he said there was a game system that he was going to that you couldn't play it in 20 years. There was so much information and books on it. They want to go to a lease rental subscription model now for the books instead of hard copy. Yeah, exactly. Who wants to do that shit? I'm not paying that. Not when I've got a stack of books and fucking a pound of fucking dice. And that's the way it is with some of the streaming services with their fucking movies and shit. So you sign up for streaming, and if they want to change it or take it away or something, then you don't have access to it. I mean, I think it's fucking ridiculous that if I want to play Baldur's Gate 3, I gotta play it online and I gotta have the fucking PlayStation Network. Just so I can play with a couple of my buddies or something. I mean, what the fuck? I mean, I remember when games, you would pop your game in and play the fucking game. You didn't need the internet. TSR actually did that back in the day, but it was for DMs mostly, so you could fast search and fast create. Everyone still had hard copies. Yeah. Well, yeah, but that's different. That is a fucking service. That's not forcing the players to have to fucking use that. That was if you were a dungeon master and you wanted that fucking information and you didn't have it on hand. That's a tool. I'm totally cool with that. I'm totally cool with that. I mean, I'm still kind of pissy that they've done some of the programs, some of the software programs that you have that make you fucking get a subscription. It's also software you bought and owned, no sub. Yeah. I mean, I've still got the, I had a buddy that gave me the discs for Dragon Magazine. They had come out with the discs that had the complete collection of Dragon Magazine up to a certain point. And you could pop that disc in your computer and you could call up the past articles because a lot of that had character classes that they created or a good hits and bad misses table and all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, I would be all right with that because, you know, you're offering something to a dungeon master that needs the information that may be missing a book. So I get that, but as far as making players, everybody have to pay, that kind of pisses me off just a little bit. So, I mean, I hate to say it and sound like a fucking boomer, but some of the old ways are the best ways. All right, let me take care of this here. All right, gotcha, man. I just was taking care of that. Sorry. Just took care of that. Nice. Thank you, sir. I just got that. I will check that out. You know what I'll be doing after I'm done streaming? I'll be checking into some of this stuff. Well, I'm almost to the 2-hour mark. I got 6 more minutes. If there's anything we could talk about for the last 6 minutes before I go, hit me up. Check that archive page too. Okay, I will definitely check that out. Like I said, still got a little bit of stuff to do after I finish up the stream, but I appreciate you coming in and hanging out tonight. I hope we can hit some topics that interested you in some way, shape, or form. I appreciate Kyle and Billy and 0 Hours coming in and hanging out with me tonight. Thank you so much, guys. If you ever got anybody that's interested in coming on and being a guest with me, let me know. Hit them up. And, you know, I might start doing this regularly on Friday nights. I might add a Saturday in there if I'm absolutely got nothing to do. And you know, maybe get some people from the West Coast or the Midwest that want to hang out before they head off to sleep. I had fun. Always have fun on streams like this, and get to hear from everybody else. So I think I'm gonna wind her down, Kyle. Okay, you're on Central Time. Now the only problem I'm gonna have is if Courtney decides she wants to do a stream on a Friday after Zia, and then I'm gonna have to probably move to a Saturday, so I don't want to step on anybody's toes. Yeah, I'm trying to stretch it out. I'll do that big Zia goodbye where I just kind of babble on for 3 minutes and 12, 11, 10. Oh, I will have something cool I'm gonna have to do. I gotta hit the store tomorrow. I got a new Frazetta print in the mail today. It's a Frazetta Death Dealer poster for Blacklight. So once I get that all set up, I will, yeah, Death Dealer. It might have been Death Dealer 2 from Frazetta. Like I said, maybe I'll get the poster out and I'll get a picture and yeah, and a big shout out to Frazetta Girls, and that's Frank's granddaughter that runs that. She's got a YouTube channel. I think she also does a show on Fridays on YouTube. Sarah Frazetta, and she's on X too. I'll give a big shout out to her. That came in, and that was pretty quick. So I was pleased with that, and I'll probably take a sneak peek picture, and I might pop it up in Discord for you so you can check it out, Kyle, and let me know what you think. But I was excited that came in today, and that only took like a week, man, from time I ordered it. So I'm hoping your comic books get there in a timely order. I think the original DD was painted late. Yes. Well, the cool thing about this was they're doing a limited run of these blacklight posters. So they're only doing like 500 posters. So it's a limited run. And I was like, boom. Gotta have it, man. And plus, I do like my black lights, as you can tell. So I gotta pick a good spot to put this poster up. Maybe I'll stick it over here in this area over here so you can see it when I'm streaming and enjoy the black lights with me. So yeah, that was pretty cool. And I got a couple of the Vampirella prints. I know I told you about it last time. And it was from Frazetta Girls as well. So definitely pretty cool reprint of the old paintings. And those prints are real nice. So I even spent the extra to get the frames for them. All right. It's 2 o'clock Eastern time. I hit my 2 hours. I'm planning on doing that. The original Frazetta. Yes. Like I said, as soon as I end the stream, Kyle, I'll get you some pictures that you might like and pop them up in the Discord for you. And you could check out those other two prints. They're both Vampirellas. So I think you'll fucking dig it. And I think I'm going to call it quits for the night. Thank you once again for coming and spending the night shift with me. If anybody's on X or YouTube or Rumble that wants to come and hang out, you are more than welcome to. Good night, good sir. Thank you so much. Anybody out there listening, you ever want to chime in? It's going to be Friday nights or Saturday nights. Hanging out with XXREMY300XX. If you get a chance, I've got a show with my co-host, Mosh and Mikey, Fridays at noon on Rumble and at 6 p.m. on YouTube. It's Rock and Roll Roundtable with the Moshmen. Moshmen Media is what produces this show, and that's what I do in my spare time if I'm not here pestering everybody on X and YouTube and Rumble. So thank you very much for hanging out tonight. Hope to see you all soon. See ya!